The course that I have is Sport Management 223. It's Principles of Recreation course. And so it's Core 39 Historical Inquiry way of knowing, and Core 39 Writing Embedded 200 level, obviously. So a couple of those, and otherwise it's our introduction course to the recreational sport minor. So pretty much everyone in our department, kinesiology and sport, takes it since it fits into the core in a couple of ways, so it's convenient for most of our students, but also since it is a core class, and it was offered for the first time last summer online, and then it was offered in person this fall and spring. So as far as the student population that is filtering into that course, it's heavy on the kinesiology and sports students, but you know, a substantial number of other majors throughout campus. So we've had biology majors, theater majors tend to gravitate towards that for some reason, but so a wide variety. But and basically, I guess my goal in redoing the course from last summer to this summer was really to make it more consumable. So I really wanted to have sort of a pattern of interaction. I wanted things to be standardized. I wanted them to know sort of exactly what their expectations were, so that in each module, and we'll see here a little bit, but in each module they knew what was going to happen, they knew what they were going to get, and they knew what the expectations were attached to that participation. So anyways, the Blackboard site you open up, and obviously it opens here to the Start Here page, our tab. So I have a welcome message. This is a Zoom video that I made where I just explain the navigation of the course. I walk them through this navigation. I walk them through the syllabus, the highlights of the syllabus. So the background of the course, you know, the text and how we're going to use the text, and how they're going to be evaluated. So all that is in the welcome message. It's about 20 minutes long. You know, try to be as succinct as possible, but also use that as a way to introduce myself to them so they know a little bit about me. The syllabus there, obviously I don't think there's a whole lot that probably we get out of looking at it, but sort of the, go away, sort of the standardized, you know, I don't think there's anything spectacular that, you know, is there, but we did a bit of cleanup on the course objectives. I think they were a little bit abstract, so made them a little bit more targeted and measurable so that we have alignment, right? The whole thing. So walk them through all that, the technological things that needed to be updated, but other than that, it's kind of, I think, par for the course. So anyways, we're just, you know, we can go back to that if there's something specific you want to see, but, and then we have the Voicethread group. The course, the main technology, I guess, utilized in the course modules is Voicethread. So they'll have to join the group here and, you know, provide that link for them and directions if they can't sort of figure it out and the name of the group, but clicking on that link should take them directly there to sign in and join the group. And then Yuhan down here added some Voicethread tutorials to the site just in case they're new to Voicethread or aren't sure exactly how it works. I find it pretty intuitive, and I think the technological level of, you know, 19-year-old college students would find it pretty intuitive, but you know, want to provide them with those resources there. So that's here on the Start Here page. I have a course calendar that's taken directly from the syllabus, so this is also in the syllabus as well, but it just outlines, this is a summer one course, so we're starting on the 13th and we're ending around the middle of June. So it just outlines what's due by the end of the day on that particular day, so they can, you know, keep track of that sort of in their own way. So it outlines the module that they'll have to complete by that day. They can work ahead on the module, so all the modules will be available on the 13th. There are 13 of them, so all of them will be available for them to work through. and they can do that in the quizzes ahead of time, but so they just need to be completed by this particular due date on the course calendar. The writing assignments, they can't work ahead on, so they'll have access to the annotated bibliography when the course opens, but they won't have access to the intro and thesis statement or the 3-page draft or the final paper, because as you guys probably know, in the writing embedded Core 39 courses, there has to be a feedback mechanism as they walk through their various writing assignments. So if I sort of allowed them to do it all at once, that I wouldn't have time to give substantive feedback and for them to implement that feedback. So I had to sort of hold to the dates on those. So if we go to the modules, this is how the course is divided by chapters in the text. And every module, again, for uniformity and sort of consumability, I wanted to look relatively the same. So you click on the folder and you're going to get a Voicethread link for the module. So all the Voicethread links look pretty much the same. They all use the same design, they all use the same format, again, because I wanted them to have that sense of standardization there. So each one has a table of contents that sort of walks through what the module will cover. And on each table of content page, I've added an introduction video that I did. Very brief, just sort of walking through what the module's about. So it'll walk them through this table of contents and what the expectations are that they'll take away from that particular module. So there are a couple other things. I used a good amount of clips. I think I underestimated exactly the amount of clips that I do use in the course, but you can't, in the Voicethread here, click on this. So a couple of ways that we've provided it for them. One, you can embed the link into the Voicethread. Sometimes this is a little tricky though to get it to like pop up. I'm not really sure like where you're supposed to navigate, but you can get it to pop up and then click on there. Or if there's a problem with that or an issue, I've included every time there's a link, I've included a written comment where they can just copy and paste that link for the video clips. Let me get to an engagement activity here. So the main feedback mechanism or sort of thing that they have to complete within each module is there's an engagement activity. So the engagement activity is going to ask them, based upon the content of that module, to internalize that content in some way and relate it to their own activities. That's sort of what the main takeaway I want them to have from the course is, to understand, have a better understanding of sort of the foundations of leisure and recreation and what we do, but to be able to relate that to activities that they are already doing in ways maybe that they aren't thinking about them before the course. I hate how sometimes it just starts playing when you don't want that, but so each one, it looks just like this, and I'll have, you know, directions for this activity. Think about the contemporary definitions that were presented previously in this module. Since this is the first one, I asked them to take the opportunity to introduce themselves to the class as well. So their name, their major, you know, where they're at in school, maybe where they're from, you know, just a brief introduction of who they are. And then utilizing a specific definition of leisure in this particular case, think about their own activities and how it relates. So I am requiring them to upload videos. So I want video responses for that. And again, I think what we were just talking about, it's really easy to do on your phone, right? Download the app, there's a big camera button right in the middle, you just press it and bam, you can record. So I anticipate there's going to be probably some feedback on that or pushback on that, but I think it's relatively simple to do, so that's where we're going. So I'm actually asking them to go to one of their favorite leisure places for the summer. So I'm a swimmer, so I'm going to do an example of this. I go to Bloomington in the summer, so I'm not there yet, so I can't do it. But this weekend, I will go to the pool and sort of take a video of myself at the pool and, you know, do this introduction activity to give them an idea of what I expect for those engagement activities. That's how they're evaluated on a regular basis throughout each of the modules. So they did 13 engagement activities that they complete for X number of points. So that's sort of the main way in which that functions and what that looks like. So again, each of those modules is set up that exact same way. So again, the idea being once they get through, sort of module 1 and they know what to do, okay, by the time we open up module 2, okay, this is sort of what I'm expecting. Oh, this looks exact same as module 1, so module 3 is probably going to look relatively the same, and then they get into that pattern of participation. Other than that, we have the quizzes there that I mentioned, weekly quizzes, and those are outlined on the course calendar as well for when they're due. So those are all set to be available, obviously, once the course starts. And then the only other thing really is the research paper assignment items. So when the course begins, they'll have access to the assignment itself. They'll have access to the grading rubric for the assignment, so they know A, what the assignment is, and B, how they're going to be evaluated on that. And they'll have access to the first part of that assignment, which is an annotated bibliography. So they'll have the assignment sheet, the directions for annotated bibliography explains a little bit about what an annotated bibliography is, as many of them may not sort of know. I don't know if that's a mandatory part of what's covered in 201, but anyways, explains what that is, provides an example, and then the Blackboard assignment tab for that as well. And then these won't be, like I said, these won't be available until after the annotated bibliography is due. So once that due date passes, then the next assignment automatically will become available for them. So that as soon as I can turn around that feedback, they can implement it, and so on and so forth throughout the rest of the assignments there. So that's basically it as far as the structure of the course. So I don't know.
Great job.
Take a couple minutes.
Do you have anything you want to ask your peers, or if anybody has any suggestions?
Nothing specific. That was just
on your Voicethread. If you edit it, you can actually set it for like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, so that it doesn't advance.
Yeah, have it completely edited, not to auto advance. It's just I think sometimes when you're clicking around in there, it starts automatically doing it. But yeah, I've set all of those to not automatically play so that they can.
Yeah. They've got to click through it.
Right.
I have a question. You said that students can work ahead, right?
In the modules, yeah.
In the modules. Okay, so not on those assignments.
Not on these assignments because I have to provide feedback as part of the
Right.
Core 39 requirements.
I was wondering.
So they're only going to be able to do those one at a time. And I explain all that in my intro video as well when we're going through the assignments.
Do you think you're gonna have issues with the Voicethread, like having some students like do it way too early, and then the other ones might not? I don't know. If they do it too early, like would they be able to collaborate with the other ones?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's collaborating. I don't think necessarily.
It's just answering your question.
Yeah, it's answering the questions, but in the how it's evaluated, I guess that's a good question that we didn't look at in the syllabus. But I mentioned this, and in all my in every one of my intro videos as well to the chapters, I say don't forget the criteria for evaluation on your engagement activity in the syllabus. So if we go to the syllabus. And we see sort of how they're being evaluated. It lays out in there, they can utilize their engagement to build upon ideas and topics provided by other class members, but each submission needs to be substantially different from one another. So, the people that are working ahead, obviously, I think this was to your point, or part of what you were talking about, people who are working ahead, right? They may not have anybody there, so they have sort of an open field there that they can sort of play in, but as that starts to populate, then they'll have to watch each other's videos to make sure that they're able to not rehash right what they're saying, or else they're not going to be evaluated as strongly. Megan?
Could we see just a little bit of your welcome video?
Oh man.
I'm just nervous about mine, so I want to see as many examples as I can.
Well, wait, do I not?
Is it on
See, I saw it on my
Voicethread or?
own.
No, here, let me go.
Welcome video is me covering.
I may not have put it in that one, or I should have it in that one though, because that's the one being evaluated, right? So, let's go to okay.
Hello students, and welcome to Sport Management 223 for the summer of 2015. I just want to make a quick introduction video to first introduce myself and then to walk through a little bit of how the course is going to work and go over the Blackboard site and the syllabus.
Good.
So I'm Dr. Anderson.
We start screen sharing here in a second, and I'll walk through the If we
That's great.
skip ahead, I guess.
It's wonderful.
Maybe, but anyways, it's screen share, right? And then we'll walk through the
That will open up
Everything in
Voicethread,
Blackboard, so.
which is the mechanism which we're going to be.
So
so
what did you use to record it? The
Zoom.
Zoom.
So did you find Zoom was kind of better and a better option than VoiceThread, or?
For this, for the screen sharing and things like that, to walk through the navigation, I think was the best. Now, when Johan and I talked about this, I thought she told me when the screen sharing happened that I wouldn't be on camera anymore, but this little picture stays in there the whole time. So
So she lied.
it was a little.
Two screens.
It's not super awkward, but like, you know, 'cause I had the dual screens in my office, and the camera's on one of the screens, so sometimes I'm sort of looking, you know, at the other screen as I'm walking through it. But it's not horrible, so you know, it is what it is. But I need to put that on the dummy site so that my person can evaluate it.
I have a quick feedback in terms of the videos you put in Voicethread. It might not be a bad idea to also embed it in that chapter folder, just in case if they miss realizing it's there. It's more obvious for the
Yeah.
first item to click.
I may, but I've told them that that's there.
Already told
In the welcome video, you know, when we're walking through, I say on every table of contents page, well, I say anytime you see my little face around one of those, that's probably something you want to look at, right? Because that means I've left you a comment or I've left you a video, so.
All right, any other feedback? Thank you, Dr. Anna. Great job.